Today is October 4th, 2010, and I am interviewing Terry Brewer. Terry is 63 years old. He was born on January 6, 1947. My name is Makayla Proffitt, and I'll be the interviewer. Terry Brewer is my grandpa. Grandpa, would you state for the recording what war and branch you served in?
I was in the United States Army, and I served in Vietnam.
What was your rank?
POC.
Where did you serve?
I served in South Vietnam, in G&E and Quang Duc Province.
How many years were you in the service?
I was in the service for 6 years total, 3 years active, 3 years inactive.
So you served in the Vietnam War. Where were you living at the time?
I was stationed in G&E in Quang Duc Province, which is almost in Cambodia. It's up 90 miles northeast of what used to be called Saigon, which is now called Ho Chi Minh City. It's up in the mountains.
How did you happen to serve in this war?
I volunteered.
What were you doing before you were enlisted?
I was a junior in high school.
Did anyone else in your family serve in the military?
Yeah, my dad was in the Navy during World War II. Joined the Army after that, was in it for the National Guards for a few years when I was a little boy. Then my brother was in the Marine Corps, and he served in Vietnam.
Can you tell me about adapting to military life, physical regimen, barracks, food, social life?
Well, you get woken up real early in the morning, every morning, by a man coming in screaming his head off at you. You get up, you start getting yourself ready. You have to have all your clothes on and dress and be outside before the sun rises in the morning. You have to be dressed completely ready to go. A lot of times you go on a 4 or 5 mile run before breakfast, and the food, it was enough to keep you going. It was balanced meals. You only had so many minutes to eat your meal. You had to be out ready to go to do more chores, do different things, do your training and stuff.
How did you choose the branch of service you served in?
Well, I wanted to keep my feet on the ground, and the good Lord didn't give me no wings to fly. He didn't give me gills to be in the water, so I chose the Army and stayed on the ground.
What kind of training did you have?
I trained as an infantry soldier.
Were any friendship formed?
Yes, I had a very close friend that was with me in Vietnam. Lives in Oklahoma City. No, he lives in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. His name is Joe Ticino.
Where did you serve in Vietnam?
Okay, I was in G&E in Quang Duc Province, up 90 miles northeast of Saigon, up in the mountain areas, close to Cambodia.
Actions or duties away from the front line, were there?
Okay, as far as actual being in a combat fight, I was never in one. My duties was to guard a compound, work on an airfield, refueling choppers, any kind of duties like that. We had to take off a lot of dead and wounded South Vietnamese off the choppers and stuff. We had to refuel a lot of choppers. Anytime an officer wanted to leave our compound, one of us had to go with him, and there was only 13 of us to do all this.
How did you stay in touch with those back home?
The only way we could do it was by write a letter. That was it.
What did you do for recreation?
We had no recreation in Vietnam. We would get to go into town once in a while, but that was not very pleasant things to do there. No, I was back home. I got out of the service in 1967. I come home from Vietnam in 1966.
Where were you?
Where were I? When I came home, I come back to Wabash. Was here for 30 days. Then I went to Fort Rucker, Alabama, and finished out my tour of duty.
How did you return home?
From Vietnam, I flew home.
Reception by family or community?
The family was great. The community, yeah, they kind of accepted it in Wabash, but in your bigger towns like out in California, they did not like us at all. They called us different names, fed on us, all kinds of things.
How hard was it to return to civilian life?
Civilian life, it's rough, even today, because you remember things.
Are you a member of any veterans organization?
Yes, I'm a member of the Vietnam Veterans of America, the VFW.
Any contact with fellow veterans?
Yeah, I go over to the VA hospital in Marion and have sessions with some of the men over there and talk with them.
How has being in the military affected your life?
Well, it made you grow up in a hurry, and it changes you quite a bit. Makes a man out of you, you know.
Were there any lessons learned?
A lot of lessons. Appreciate life. And just watch different things. Enjoy what we have here in America.
Is there anything else you would like to share or show?
Well, I brought some things out that I received from, these are some ribbons and medals that I've got from the service, different ones that were awarded me. I just became a member of the Order of the Silver Rose in 2006, and this is for people that did not get Purple Heart when we was in Vietnam, but we do have things like cancer, diabetes, things like that go wrong with us. That's claiming a lot of veterans' lives. These knives and stuff here I received from while I was in Vietnam from some people called the Mountain Yards. They were like an Indian tribe that roamed the mountains in South Vietnam. This is one of the knives they used in their daily lives. I brought this back and hoping I'd have a daughter someday, and I gave it to her. This is another knife. This is a crossbow that I got off the Mountain Yards. I broke the string shooting the arrows with my son one time. These are the arrows that the Mountain Yards used. They used these to kill everything from small games to monkeys to eat and anything else, even people. They had a thing like this they carried over their shoulders, their hatchet, axe. They used this to cut things like the vines in the jungles and the bamboo and things like that. Yeah. They wove their own baskets. This is a basket the Mountain Yards used. They had a sling like this and they carried it over their shoulders. They'd put everything in it from their vegetables and foods and stuff, and they carried everything on their back and shoulders. They wore very little clothing. It was nothing to see a man just walking around with a little loincloth on, and that was it, you know, as a Mountain Yard. Because it was more like, they were more like the old American Indians used to be that you've seen on TV and the cowboys and stuff. that's the way they dressed, or the natives of South America and Africa that you see these days. This is a jacket I brought back from Vietnam that I bought while I was there. Real small for me now, so. But this is mainly what little souvenirs I've got left, but I've got a lot of memories.
Can you hold up any of them to the camera? These are
some of the ribbons, badges that I've won for different things, different ribbons. I wish I could remember all what they're for. I know this is the Vietnam campaign badge. This is Armed Service Expedition Medal. That one there. This is an overseas campaign ribbon, and I've got one with, I don't know where it's at. It's supposed to have two small bronze stars with it, and I can't find it. And I can't find my silver rose badge, but it looks similar to this here, and it's on a medallion that comes around your neck. But these are some of the souvenirs that I have, and this is basically all I have left. But a lot of memories. Okay, these knives here, this knife here, the Mountain Yard women and men, they would always wear their hair in a bun in the back, and then they'd tuck this knife into the back of their hair, and they'd carry it. And whenever somebody threatened them or do something, they would pull it out. It was a very deadly weapon that they could swing real quick like. And they'd cut your throat in a second with it. Like I said, they used this one here for a lot of different things that they would, the meats they would cut, and everything else.
Do you have any favorite memories?
The favorite memories. It's kind of hard to say because there was a few good times over there. There was a lot of times where you don't want to remember. I remember when I first went to Vietnam, it was not considered a combat zone. We had to make so many missions a month outside of our compound to get combat pay, which was $50 a month. That's what it was. But we'd come back in and from out the jungles and stuff, we'd have to take our clothes off. One piece of clothing at a time, we'd light a cigarette and we'd take the big leeches off of our bodies. It'd be all wrapped under your arms and your back and chest. You'd have to burn them off. That's some of the times that you can't forget that stuff. So.
Can you hold up some of the posters?
Yeah. This here's the Silver Rose, which, like I said, I just got this in 2006. This was started by a woman. If I ain't mistaken, she's out of Michigan. Her husband died with diabetes and other complications from Vietnam, from Agent Orange. And like it says on here, Agent Orange, one of these, I forget where I seen it at. This is given to the guys that were there. Let's see if I can find it real fast. Okay. If you can get this, maybe you guys can read this later too. Do you get in all that? Okay. It's here 20 million and plus gallons of Agent Orange was sprayed over there. Well, all they thought it was for was killing vegetation. Well, nowadays it's killing the service. Yeah. All of them. There's a lot of different complications. They're finding new things all the time. They just contacted, approved some with heart conditions. Just recently being connected to Agent Orange. all kinds of different cancers and the diabetes. It's getting you, you know.
Were you one that got affected by it?
Yes, I was.
Can you tell a little bit about it?
Well, I've got the diabetes from it. It's giving me a high blood pressure, high cholesterol. It's affecting the body quite a bit in different ways, right along with old age. But we just keep hoping someday they can they'll find some cures for some of it. But we just keep going. We keep going every day. The one thing about it, the VA is good enough to take care of some of our medicines and stuff to help us with our diseases.
Thank you for letting me interview you.
Okay.